Good morning, Math 6. Hello, hello, hello. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys nailed everything on the quiz. I haven't heard from you guys, so I hope everything's working out with Google Classroom, etc., etc. For this week, it'll be more or less the same as it has been with RenWeb, and then we have spring break. Yay! But before that, we've got a few lessons. Today's lesson is 129, and we are talking about customary and metric. Now, these are two different types of measurements that we have already learned. Now we're going to kind of talk about the difference, and maybe even learn how to relate between them. We'll figure that out. But before we do that, we are going to do a review. And let's see, how am I going to do this? Why don't I just do it like this? Okay, so if I have this many liters, gallons, cups, or tons, well, if I were converting this to, let's see, hold on a second. I'm going to have to do some fancy footwork here, guys. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That was pretty cool. Okay, so if I'm converting all of these, in fact, if you wanted, go ahead and pause this and fill them out to their intended new places. But 3 liters going to milliliters, so liters is larger than milliliters. So I'm going to be moving my decimal place to the right, three spots, boom, boom, boom. That's going to give me 3,000 milliliters. From gallons to quarts, again, I'm going from larger to smaller. So I'm going to multiply. The ratio between gallons and quarts, there are 4 quarts per gallon. So I'm going to multiply 3 by 4, get 12. Cups to fluid ounces, again, larger to smaller, we're going to multiply. There are 8 fluid ounces per cup. 3 times 8 is 24. Tons to pounds, again, larger to smaller. There are 2,000 pounds in a ton, so 4 times 2,000 is 8,000. Okay. Over here, I'm going from smaller to larger. There are 3 feet per yard, so I'm going to divide 12 feet by 3. That's going to give me 4 yards. From centimeters to meters, I'm going to move my decimal place. Again, King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. So he's going to move the decimal place 2 spots to the left. In 200 centimeters, there are 2 meters. Ounces to pounds, 16 ounces per pound, divide by 16. 32 ounces is 2 pounds. Milligrams to grams. Again, I'm going to move my decimal place to the left. In 6,000 milligrams, that is 6 grams. Okay. I hope this review was super easy for you guys. If not, again, you can either memorize the chart or keep it on hand. Rewrite it, write it down, write it again, and the repetition will help us remember and memorize. Okay? Now, we have 2 different forms of measurements. The first one is customary. Customary is what we use here in the United States. Sometimes it's called empirical. Sometimes, a lot of places in the world don't like it, so they might call it stupid, but it's what we're used to. We're used to inches, pounds, gallons, cups, feet, miles, tons, so on and so forth. And metric units, those are the grams, liters, and meters. We're familiar with grams, liters, and meters, and again, most of the world, I think last I checked, there's only 2 countries who use customary units. Some of them are going to be familiar with it. I think England has a mix. I think they use miles and grams and liters. So yes, they're just kind of weird. But for the most part, the whole world uses metric units. Okay. With these two measurement groups, we will find all four operations. Again, these four operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. With customary units, it's going to look like this. So I've got two examples here. And again, when we add over, we're going to carry over any of the excess. So with, let's see, I'm going to cover this bad boy up. So 11 plus 7, right? I'm adding my inches. I'm not adding 11 to 1 foot. That doesn't make sense. 11 plus 7 is 18. Well, 1 feet and 18 inches, right? I'm going to carry over 12 inches into this other foot, right? 12 inches makes a foot. So 1 feet, 18 inches is 2 feet and 6 inches. Okay, this other example, 3 gallons and 2 quarts plus 7 gallons and 3 quarts. I'm going to add my quarts and my gallons. This is going to give me 10 gallons and 5 quarts. But again, these quarts will simplify. So in 5 quarts, I have 1 gallon, 1 quart. So one of these is going to carry over. That's going to give me 11 gallons and 1 quart. Yeah, I'm trying to simplify here. Okay. Now, if I have subtraction, so these are my examples. This is only one example. I have 35 pounds, 8 ounces minus 1 pound, 13 ounces. Now, I can't subtract 8 ounces minus 13. So that's why I've crossed this out and I've carried over. So I need to come over to my pounds and add, well, rather I'm subtracting 1 pound, leaving 34. But in 1 pound, there are 16 ounces. So now I'm adding 16 to my 8 ounces. So it's a lot like carrying over from regular addition, except we don't have 10 units per spot. We have different units depending on what we're talking about. So in 1 pound, there are 16 ounces. So I'm going to add 16 plus 8 ounces, which is going to equal 24. 24 minus 13 is 11 ounces. 34 pounds minus 1 pound is 33. So after subtracting, carrying over, I've got 33 pounds, 11 ounces. Okay. Now, multiplication, let me just put this guy right there to kind of block it all out. So let's say you buy 7 packages, 7, each weighing 11 pounds, 4 ounces. How much does that weigh? Well, we're going to multiply 7 by 4 ounces. And, oh, I'm sorry, this is 1 pound, not 11 pounds. That confused me. Let's call this 1 pound. So 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 1 is 7. But again, how many ounces and pounds carry over? I'm going to subtract from this guy 28 minus 16 ounces. Now the reason why I'm subtracting 16 is because there's 16 ounces per pound. So 28 minus 16 is 12. But this isn't just going away. This is carrying over into my pounds. So this is going to be 8 pounds, 12 ounces. Okay. And then finally, division. Let's say we are splitting a board which is 12 feet and 4 inches, and we're dividing it into 4 separate pieces. So I'm going to divide each of these individual pieces by 4. What I can do is I could do it one at a time or do it all together. So 12 feet divided by 4 is going to, now my units are going to stay the same. So 12 feet divided by 4 is 3 feet. 4 feet divided by 4 is 4 inches divided by 4 is 1 inch. Ray, don't give up on me, bud. I know you can do this. Okay. Now I've got some examples. Metric units. So with metric units, the trick is going to be to convert to similar decimal place units. So if you're talking about milligrams times grams, convert them both to either grams or milligrams. Convert them to the same one. For example, kilograms must subtract from kilograms, not from grams, right? But metric is really easy because we're just moving the decimal, right? Example. 1.8 kilograms plus 1,500 grams. Well, again, they need to be the same. So in this case, I'm going to convert my kilograms to grams. Again, I've got King Henry died unexpectedly. That's my unit. Drinking chocolate milk. So going from kilograms to the unit, kilo, hecta, deca. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to move this 1, 2, 3. This is going to be 1,800 grams. Adding those together, well, rather, you could either add these together and get an answer, or you can add this together, and the only difference is going to be our units. So just keep an eye on that. Again, either one is going to be the correct answer. In this case, we're going to have, let's see, 3,300 grams. And in this case, we're going to have 3.3 kilograms. But both of these is the same amount, right? If we translated 3,300 grams into kilograms, it would be 3.3. Okay. That's all that I have for notes. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below, email me, or we can now communicate in Google Classroom. Otherwise, I'll assume that you guys are doing just fine. Know that I love you and miss you a ton, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye.